Are we who we are today because of others? Or maybe are we becoming what others expect of us or what we thought that others expect of us? Hi, I'm Janthina Austero, and I'm a first year BS Psychology student in AUP. And today I'll be sharing with you one of the topics that I'm interested about in this course. So, the title of this presentation is Knowing Self from Knowing Others. A famous quote that I believe you all know from John Donne is that no man is an island. Any hint from our topic? Yes, today I'll be sharing with you the theories of socialization. We will tackle the 3 theories from 3 great philosophers that change our perspective about how the self actually develops. Let's start first with Mr. John Locke. Mr. John Locke believed that the human mind is a blank slate, or they call it tabula rasa, and that all of its structure, our human mind, comes from socialization, culture, parenting, and experience, and not by our genes. However, Steven Pinker, a Canadian psychologist, argued that we are programmed with a set of moral responses that can be good guides, meaning even if we had no idea about the 10 Commandments, we know that killing someone is actually bad. And he states that our mind is like a computer which is already programmed and designed into some kind of innate machinery to accomplish learning and socialization and the creation and transmission of culture. Therefore, the experiences are only input for the program of your mind. You know, as a Christian, it would easily understood what Steven Pinker actually meant, although I'm not sure if he's a religious person, but it is related. In the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 16, when God said that I will put my laws on their hearts and write them on their minds. Amazing, right? Next, Charles H. Cooley with his theory, the looking glass self theory. The looking glass self is an interactive process where we develop an image of ourselves based on how we imagine we appear to others. In this theory, there are 3 steps. First, we imagine how we appear to others. The second, based on others' reaction, we attempt to determine whether they view us as we view ourselves. The third is that we use our perceptions of how others judge us to develop feelings about ourselves. Now, do we improve ourselves from this process? The answer is yes and no. Why? You see, it is essential that we are mindful on how we appear to others. This indicates that we do not only think about ourselves, but we consider the people, the event, or the place by how we present ourselves to them. However, it gets unhealthy when we start becoming discontented on our faces, our clothing, or even in a broader context, such as which is already related in our church, like the moral laws. We start to rebel from the moral laws, if you know what I mean. And this is only because of how we imagine we appear to others. And it becomes a negative effect in a psychological, emotional, behavioral, and even the physical state. You know, I have one example here. Actually, during my high school, I actually thought about myself that I think I'm becoming what I thought that I'm not. You know why? Because during high school, I was a pleaser. I do things not based on what I love. but based on what I thought that the others would love to see me. And it started to get unhealthy. And I'm not sure, but I believe that someone out there understood what I actually meant. And it's really not healthy. Last one is George Herbert Mead. He has the theory of social behaviorism. George Herbert Mead believed that people develop self-images through interactions with other people. And we will discuss two things about how the self develops based on his theory. The first one is role-taking. In role-taking, we do not only see ourselves as others see us, but actually take on the roles of others. Therefore, we anticipate what others expect of us. One of the examples here is we are being good around grandma. Why? Because grandma is a good person. Second, the I self and the me self. Mead posited that there's an active I self and an objective me self. What are these two? The I refers to the unsocialized, spontaneous, self-interested component of personality, which is a large role in children. And the me refers to being aware of the expectation and attitudes of society. Mead believed that the key to self-development is understanding the role of the other. To sum up this discussion, God has given us the gift of the freedom of choice. Therefore, we become who and what we are, not because of others, but because of our decisions. You see, it is written in Hebrews 10 verse 16 that He will write His law in our hearts and in our minds. This gives us conscience, good instinct, common sense. So I will leave with you a wonderful quote from Pastor Wendell Serrano. He wrote, "What we are today is the result of our decision yesterday, and what we will be tomorrow is the result of our decision today. Make decisions wisely." Yes, brothers and sisters, make decisions wisely. That's all. God bless and stay safe.